Greetings, friends and families of the Pittsburgh Presbyterian Church. I hope you are all doing well. This is a brief update on some of the things that are going on here at church. Certainly things that went on during the Christmas break and a few things coming up that I want you to know about and try to explain some things as well. First of all, the Christmas dinner was a great success. We fed over 700 people. About 500 of those meals were delivered to various homes in areas such as Scammon, Girard, Arma, Frontenac, Weir, and a few other places that for the first time we were able to reach because we had drivers that were willing to go that far. Secondly, we celebrate the Christmas offering that we received. Somewhere in the neighborhood of $9,800 came in to support youth ministry and children's ministry. Now, thank you very much for participating in that offering. It's very important. The session, through our efforts to reduce our budget and work hard to be good stewards, has cut an additional $20,000 out of the budget. Now, since we still have all of our personnel at the levels that they were in 2015, the only place to cut then was programming. And so to then turn around and receive $9,800 to support children and kids ministry, youth ministry, tremendous. It means that those youth leaders, Julie Bernhardt, Laurie Lascaras, Dina Thompson, and others will not have to do fundraising all year in order to do what they need to do. So thank you very much. It's been tremendous and a great support for the ministry that we are involved in together. Now let me talk with you briefly about small groups, why we are doing small groups, and what it's all about. First of all, small groups are a way for, more than anything else, developing significant Christian relationships. That's what they're about. And while we're doing that, we will study the Bible. We will learn to care for one another. We will learn to joyfully share the good news of Jesus Christ. I encourage each and every one of us to try out a small group. Now, to try out a small group does not mean that you are committed to it for the rest of your life. This is a 2-month commitment to meet on a weekly basis with a particular small group. And these small groups are sermon-based small groups. And by that I mean, I will try to provide a sermon guide which has homework, if you would, for small groups each Sunday. So when you come to worship, you have that insert. Use it during the sermon. Take some notes if you want. I suggest you do. Take that sheet with you home. Go through some of the extra materials that are in there. There will be too much in there for me to go through during the sermon. So you can go through that by yourself at home. Then take that sheet and your Bible with you to small group. There you gather with your small group, and your group will discuss the topic of the sermon along with the text and questions that are in the guide. That's it. Do that weekly for about 2 months. At the end of the 2 months, the group will evaluate together how the group went, and members will then decide whether they are returning to that group, whether they are not returning to that group, whether they are trying another group that meets at another night, at another time, or whether they are stepping out of small groups for a little while. All of that is wide open. It gives us a chance to make a decision 2 months at a time. This is not a lifelong commitment. Benefits of small groups. We've been talking about reaching out we've been talking about joyfully sharing the good news of Jesus Christ, of getting to know one another better and caring for one another. All of this is something we learn to do through small groups as we learn to do it together. Also, to be part of a small group means that the group becomes the immediate caring community for each person that is in it. So you're in a small group and you're about to have a surgery, or there's a job loss, or there's some kind of crisis in the family. The small group is the immediate group that cares. So if you are not in a small group, then it means you have taken yourself out of this kind of intimate care and sort of put yourself outside of that system. And that's not very good for anybody. So I will continue to be involved as pastor. I will care as much as I can, visit, pray with, support. But we could all do this together if we find groups to become part of. We are all to care for one another. So that's the idea. As small groups begin to move forward, we are hoping that it will more and more take the place of what we have been doing for steady time, because we can't do everything. And that will then free up Sunday mornings for fellowship and other things that we might want to do, and then move that kind of discipleship work to small group arena at different places. Now, those parents whose children are in KFJ will be in the building on Sunday mornings at 11 o'clock, if for no other reason than that their children are in KFJ. It'd be wonderful if those parents would form a small group that meets at 11 o'clock on Sunday mornings, so that while their children are in KFJ, Kids Following Jesus, the adults are in small group session, developing trust and care and support for one another. So please sign up. I will try to put a link under this video. Click that link, fill the form, and try out a group for the next 2 months. The groups begin meeting January the 17th, and the last day of group meetings is March the 19th. 2 months. Try it out.